my boss asked me, "So Wen, you do have a tux, right?" And I was like, "What is a tux?" Hi everyone, I'm Wen. Today we are talking with my friend Josh in his awesome studio. Thank you for letting us hang around here, Josh.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate you coming into town and doing this with me.
Yes. And Josh is a creative director of his own brand, Kercher. They create luxury bespoke suits and tuxedos that tailor-made for individuals. And my experience of the whole studio is it's the combination of classy and modern. It also feels like a playground to me because there are many subspaces here and there with slightly different characters. I dig it a lot.
Thanks, man.
And a couple years ago, when I was invited to my first black tie event, my boss asked me, "So Wen, you do have a tux, right?" And I was like, "What is a tux?" And I remember my boss just handed me Josh's number and goes, "Okay, say no more, just call this number." That's when I made my first appointment with Josh. And right before I came in, I was picturing, the scene you would see in Kingsman or Suits. A kid called a mysterious number and showed up in this high-end fancy tailor shop. A 75 years old man walked out with a pocket watch on hand and bashed in my outfit verbally with heavy British accent. That's what's in my mind before I walked in. And then I saw Josh. He was like, "Hey, how's it going? I'm Josh." I suddenly felt much more comfortable, and then we went ahead and created this stunning tuxedo. Thanks again for the great works.
Absolutely, yeah. Our brand's a lot to do with just being yourself and coming as you are and making everybody comfortable too. So I'm glad you felt that way.
Yes. I feel we are right on the topic. Should we just go ahead and talk about men's dress code for different types of event setting, from business casual, business formal to black tie?
Yeah, absolutely. We can do that. There's so many different categories of dress that can be confusing when you're first starting to explore style. One of the ones that's kicked around most often here in the US is business casual, and what does that mean? And so the most common thing I usually want guys to know about business casual is that it's exactly that. It's a little bit more casual. Most often we're talking about a trouser, a pant, whatever you want to call it, maybe even a chino, and that's usually matched up with a button-down dress shirt. In some cases that could mean a sports coat. Depends a lot on the setting of the work or the place that you're going in. Sometimes people might even sneak in something like a tennis shoe, sometimes a t-shirt with a sports coat over it, but it's a little bit lighter, right? And then you have business formal. That is the most common kind of instance when you would wear something like a suit and tie most often. And business casual doesn't need to have a tie necessarily. Business formal though, that's when you're going to be in a suit and tie. That's when you can kind of play around with color, tonality a little bit and really kind of find some ways to express it. Where on the other end, the other end of the spectrum entirely is black tie. It's a little bit more like what you're wearing right now and what we needed to design together. You had a very specific instance, a very specific event and context that you needed to dress for that there's some rules for. And what those rules are is that black tie, creative black tie, galas, things like that, they're typically going to need a certain type of dress. One of the things that makes a tuxedo, or that makes a dinner jacket, is the satin that gets placed on the lapels, just like what you have on your jacket there. Sometimes the satin can also get picked up on the buttons. It can get picked up on the besom pocket, which is the small little slit pocket that you have there. And in some cases down the side seam of the trousers. That's especially true with a tuxedo. The difference between a tuxedo and a dinner jacket though, is that a tuxedo, the upper part of the body and the pants are gonna match. Now, whether that's black or whether that's a midnight navy blue, very much a Daniel Craig, James Bond kind of a look, they're always gonna match. And that's what makes a tuxedo a tuxedo. On the other hand, a dinner jacket like we did, which is also sometimes called a smoking jacket, can be made of a velvet or it can be made of a jacquard or some kind of print, a silk, things like that. But typically the dinner jacket is going to have some distinct contrast to the black formal trouser that you're wearing underneath it, just like you are now.
And one rookie mistake is people wear suit and tie into a black tie event.
Yes, all right, important. So that's a huge no-no. You don't want to wear a black suit just because you hear black tie. And also another big mistake is people think that black tie literally means black tie. Right. And actually it means a bow tie. Right. And that's very confusing because if you take it in a more literal sense, you think that that's okay.
Right.
But a bow tie is what you're supposed to wear. Yeah, so don't be the one that's caught in a suit.
Don't do
going to
it.
the black tie event.
I mean, I was there,
Yeah.
and I learned my lesson from the hard way. So just everyone, don't do it.
Yeah.
Have a black tie, have a bow tie, and a tuxedo. Go to
Right.
the black tie
Yeah.
event.
A fitted suit. Listen, worst case scenario, if you've got a black suit and it fits really, really well,
Right.
you can at least try to fake it and try to get by.
Yeah.
But if you have a tuxedo, that's giving you a better chance to stand out in the room, which is really what dressing well is all about. How can I
Right.
walk into a room, get attention in the best kind of way, and
Right.
feel like my best man?